future, talk radio will actually educate, inspire, and make you think. The future is now. Topics and music that affect your life from Universal Broadcasting Network. Tune in at ubnradio.com.
You and I go hard at each other like we're going to war. You and I go rough. We keep throwing things and slamming them doors. You and I get so damn dysfunctional. We start keeping.
Okay, every time I hear him, I just want to get up and dance and forget the show. I love him.
Although I'm not digging his bald head. I don't like
what
it.
is it? I mean,
Grow his hair
I'm not into it at all. He's
It's
trying to
gotta
be like
for a
gangsta
role or something.
You think no,
so?
it's not.
I
He's
don't
just
know.
doing it because he thinks he's looking cool. And I'm telling you, he's just into the look. I don't like it, but I love him. Everything about him. He's amazing.
Yeah, he's pretty great.
And we're going to be going to see him this weekend. A whole bunch of
I have a
us.
story about Maroon 5 and your son, Justin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a lot of stories about Maroon 5, but go ahead.
Well, I just remember, we don't know who I am yet, but
That's okay. Well, you tell the story, and then we'll tell everybody who you are
So,
later. This is our guest, Nicole
yeah,
Ettinger.
so-
She's a film producer.
So Deborah and
There you
I
go.
are old friends, and I used to drive her kid around after school sometimes. And I
Right.
remember we used to sing, what was their first big hit, Maroon 5?
I don't know. I don't
I'm
know.
blanking, but whatever it was, it used to play on the radio all the time, and I just have like very specific memories of Justin when he's like 10 years old, 11 years old, singing to that song, and then every time he saw one of those VW bugs, he'd punch me and go, punch buggies, no punch bags.
He was a funny little
So
guy,
cute.
wasn't he?
Yeah,
he was so
yeah,
cute.
yeah.
And now, right, were you the one who said on Facebook that I just took a picture with him and I was in Boston and somebody said, "Oh my God, you look just like Adam." I took that as a compliment. Not that I look like Adam, but that Justin did.
Oh, yeah, he
So,
does kind of.
Yeah, a little bit.
He's
So,
taller.
yeah, he needs. Got to keep the hair. So
Yeah.
anyway, welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. So none of you are going to go. Nobody's going to that concert. It's the weekend. It's Calvin Harris and Sam Smith, and it's a great concert at the Hollywood Bowl.
This weekend?
Yeah, and they're going to have a little surprise going on. So,
I'm actually going to Las Vegas this weekend to see Rick Springfield in concert.
oh my gosh.
He's still around?
Yeah, I like that. Who?
Hey, the
Come on.
best.
All right, enjoy it.
now.
That's really great. Anyway, how are you?
So
What's
I'm
going
great.
on?
You know, let's see what's going on with me. Dog went missing for 3 hours yesterday.
Oh,
I
no.
was
Oh, my God.
devastated. Thank God for nice neighbors. She put up signs, and that's how I found. My gardener
Where was
left
the
the door
dog?
open. The gardener's fault. So of course I laid into him in true Italian style. Now he's
Oh, please.
apologizing for feels
I just laid into the Time Warner guy again today. I have the Time Warner guy at my house every day. Did I complain about him last week? Yeah. He was at my house again today, which is another reason why I was like 5 minutes late. I was so going to be on time.
I think you were pretty good. You were.
I was pretty good. I
You,
gave
you made
myself
progress.
time. This is unbelievable for me. So, in fact, this is so early. I could have
So-
taken a nap.
I think our show today is great. We've got a really fantastic guest. This is a longtime friend. Of course, we're talking again after 20 years of not talking because we just haven't been in touch. But Facebook, Janine Sherrill.
Love her.
So exciting. She's on the line. Look how
Yay.
beautiful she is.
Hi,
Hello,
Janine.
my friends. I'm so
let's
happy
have a
to be
little
on your
applause.
show.
A little applause. Oh my gosh, we have a large studio audience here, Janine and Kate.
Just
did you
for
hear
you,
them?
Janine.
Welcome on the show. We're so glad that you're here
Janine's-
with What's Up with
Yeah.
Kobylt and Hayes.
Oh, it's so great to be here, and I'm thrilled for both of you. It's so perfect
Aw.
that the two of you have teamed up because you know we met many years ago when we worked together at CNN,
Yeah.
and you two were like a show. You know, there's some people where you don't even really have to talk to each other; you just watch them. And I would watch the two of you, and you were like Laverne and Shirley, but you were
That's a
both
good
kind
one.
of.
I
Oh
like
my
Laverne
gosh.
and Shirley.
Who's who? You know,
I like
people always
Laverne.
compare me to
I'm
like
Shirley.
Lucy and Ethel.
You're Laverne.
So what if we're Lucy and Ethel?
Well,
Who-
Lucy and
God
Ethel
help
is
me.
how I look at it because Deborah is like I love Lucy, and
Yeah.
I've always felt, and I could be the Ethel. I don't mind being Ethel.
You can be Ethel, honey. I don't. Not that Lucy's so.
They
hot,
had, you know,
but
in their
know.
contract, Janine. This is funny. I read this that Lucy in her contract said, "Ethel, you cannot lose weight and be skinnier than me, or I'll fire you."
Yeah,
I heard that was a
I
true
read that
story.
too.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's true.
So, well, you better not put that in your contract.
You're already gorgeous.
God.
So, I wouldn't do that.
But
so.
Janine's at Fashion Police. Oh my
Yes.
God!
Okay. So
exciting.
Janine went. Okay, she was with. Do we have a little clip of Joan Rivers because Janine was with Fashion Police, a producer on Fashion Police with Joan Rivers, and I know you were heartbroken when she passed
Very
away.
sad.
And now it's back. I know it's on hiatus at the moment, but it's back with her daughter Melissa. And it was so sad. And can we just have a little clip of Janine? Okay.
I've been listening to you guys off stage and
that's
so
not
many
Joan.
stories. I have so many memories of this.
Oops, sorry, that wasn't Joan. That was the daughter. We'll get to
Melissa.
it.
I think she was introing her mother.
I think
she's
she'll
introing her
introduce-
mom?
Yeah.
Okay.
she'll
We
introduce-
could just play it.
Let's
set
just play it.
with
sorry.
my mom. But honestly, nothing made me smile more than when she would crack herself up before she even got to the punchline of a joke. I mean, she knew what was coming, and she was laughing before she even said the funny part.
She looked so hot because I was there at the wedding and I was with Peter Dinklage and he said, "Wow, I She looked so good. She does, yeah. And I was there with Peter Dinklage at the wedding. He was like plus a half.
Aw,
We miss her.
I really,
it was
really
so
miss
hard
her.
to keep a straight face working on that show. It was fantastic. We would shoot that show at the crack of dawn.
Really? Really
and-
early? Oh, gosh. I didn't
Yeah,
know that.
I mean,
Why?
who else
Why
could
so
start work
early?
and at 8 o'clock be laughing at vagina jokes?
Oh,
I mean,
that's
it was
hilarious.
just so crazy, so off the wall, and she was the consummate professional. It was such a privilege. It was a privilege to be able to work with her.
What I like about that show when she was on it, of course, it always looked like it was unscripted, but so she worked so hard to get it where she wanted it. And it really wasn't, but I know, a lot of it still would come off the cuff. But how did she do it? I mean, how did you guys work on that show?
Oh my gosh! Well,
I love
she
that picture.
would fly in. She lived in New York, but she would come out to Los Angeles to shoot our show. So
Right.
she would fly in, either Tuesday, sometimes Wednesday morning, and have a meeting, with our staff and look at the pictures that we're going to be seeing, the celebrities we're going to be talking about, and she would start thinking about the jokes. And practicing and trying to figure out how to tweak them so that they're as funny as they possibly can be. And on Thursday mornings, she would arrive at our studio at 4:30, 5 o'clock a.m.,
Wow.
go into hair and makeup, go into the teleprompter, and just keep on doing them until she was happy with it, and do it in front of people and ask, is this funny? Should I change this? What do you like better, this or this? And
Wow.
it's just such a pro.
I don't think people
Such a
realize how
pro.
hard she worked. I mean, up until the end. I watched her documentary.
Yeah,
It
her
was
documentary was amazing.
fascinating. And she had an
Yeah.
index
Wasn't that
card
brilliant?
system of all her jokes from whatever she told, which I couldn't believe.
Who produced that documentary for people who want to
That
see
was
it?
produced by her best friend's daughter,
Well, it
who
was
was
very
also
well
in
done.
awe of it. I mean, hanging
Yeah.
around Joan, you can't help but be in awe of the amount of energy she has, and what an incredible businesswoman she is, and human being she was. And I was fortunate enough to do a day in the life of Joan for Fashion Police, because I was
Wow.
seriously just
How did that go?
flabbergasted at how much energy she had. I mean, I'm around half her age, and I was having trouble keeping up. But she would come in and do our show. She'd either go out with me on a shoot, or she'd be back on a plane or doing her reality show with Melissa.
Wow.
And go back to New York. She'd still continue to do stand-up dates and tour with her books, and she was actively involved at QVC,
Yeah, I was gonna
designing
bring
the
that up.
clothes,
That had
going
to be a
over
lot
all
of
the
work.
accessories, the clothing, everything, making sure that if it had her name on it, it was just perfection.
And she did well with that business, the jewelry and her clothes. I think she did very well.
You know
with
why?
that.
Because people
Oh, yeah.
related to her. What she wore, what she said. People
Yeah.
really did
I
relate
think she
to
was.
her.
Nobody talked about it then, but when you talk about ageism and reinventing yourself, that's kind of the theme of this show for women and men too. But she really was the leader of the pack. I mean, she got out there. She had a lot of trauma, tragedy with her husband, and she had to reinvent herself so many times. I wish she was alive right now to talk to us. I mean, look at what she accomplished. She was a
But
leader.
the good news is everybody knows that.
Yeah.
So everybody can live on and talk about that and
Right.
be inspired by it. I
Right.
love that about her. Her daughter. I can't imagine. I mean, her daughter, I know she probably has to put on a good face only because you have to when you lose a parent. You know that.
Right.
I know you've lost your mom like I did. And Nicole, our guest, has as well, and Linda with her dad. So you do have to put on a brave face. And when it's unexpected, I know mine was, I know Joan, Melissa's was, that's even harder. So you really have to move forward and figure out a way to reinvent herself. Is it tough for Melissa when she comes to work? Or, I mean, how is she?
Well, Melissa has been the executive producer on the show, so she's, intimately familiar with how the show works and what is good on air and what isn't. And she's got a huge voice on the show, and she did anyway. So when she stepped in, after another incarnation, I think she was ready, and I think the timing was good. And I think she's been doing a very, very good job. Her voice is different than her mother's.
Right.
But
and the show is a
works.
little bit different than it was when her mom was on. And, it's much more conversational and Melissa's funny, but she's also a mom and she gets it. And, she's got a lot of other things going on in her life, but I think she's really nailing it on the show. I think she's added such a fresh voice to it. And, you still are reminded of her mom.
I think
too.
she's the only one who could fill her mom's shoes.
I think so,
to
too.
So
I'm
she's
so
perfect
glad.
for the job. I mean, I agree with you. I think she's great on the show.
She's got a cadence that reminds me of her mom. That's
Yeah,
what it is
she
when I
does.
look at her, and
Yeah.
there is a
People
similarity.
feel connected to her, and we feel sad because there's probably takes a while to get over a death that's so
absolutely.
shocking, So, but you
honestly,
must
I
have
don't know how she's doing it, but
maybe the
she's
work
doing
is
it.
good for her to stay busy, So you must
Yeah.
love your job. I mean, give us the
I
day in the
do.
life of Janine Sherrill. That's what I want. A day in the life of Janine.
Oh, gee, I can imagine, right? It's like, get up, get the kids to school, hurry up, get out. And
Go
then,
down in the glamorous Hollywood scene. People don't know how glamorous
Right.
it is. Tell us what
Drive
you
an
do.
hour and a half
Yeah,
down to Hollywood.
traffic.
That's kind of it. Yeah, I've got 2 kids, so the mornings are complete chaos here at the house. And, we'll go down and just figure out what we're doing for the show. But I keep on saying, like, the real show is what's going on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
As we're going through and trying to figure out which looks we're going to talk about that week and coming up with different games to play and stunts to do. And it's a riot. It's really funny. And I think about corporate America and how this is so vastly different.
Oh, yeah.
What we're doing. It's crazy, some of the meetings that we have. But, we're
tell us
trying to
what goes
produce a
on.
comedy show.
I want to know what goes on in those meetings. It sounds a little nutty. It sounds fun. Hey,
Do you ever have cameras
God.
behind the scenes, like leading up to
No.
the show? No,
why?
No.
That's the
that
fun
would be
No.
really
part.
entertaining.
Then maybe you'd be.
No.
Then maybe it wouldn't be as off the wall because they'd be conscious of, oh, I can't say this or that.
Yeah.
It sounds like
Exactly.
a ball. Sounds like
Exactly.
fun.
Well,
'cause
you know what? It's such a good team.
Yeah.
It's a great Fashion Police team, and everybody's been together for a long time, and everyone contributes, and they're funny people, So
Yeah.
it's a lot of brainstorming, and it's a lot of trying to come up with ways to make the show interesting and to really let the guests shine. It's a very different format this time around because we have 3 regular hosts. So that's Melissa, Juliana Rancic, who's been with the show, and Brad Goreski, who came on within the past year. And we have 2 rotating guests. And those guests are on from the beginning of the show to the end, and they're commentating, and they have to have, content to speak about and be able to talk intelligently about some of the fashions that we're seeing. And we have really been fortunate. We've had great guests like Nene Leakes and Margaret Cho,
they're
Lonnie
funny.
Love, who I love. Johnny Weir came in, and Lisa Rinna.
Very
Mel B,
colorful
so-
people. Colorful.
Yeah.
They're funny as hell.
Yeah.
Do they ever bring stuff in and you get to like keep some samples and all that? That would be the fun part to me.
No. Wouldn't that be
No.
great, though?
Yeah, tell them next time, like a fashion person
just
comes
like
in.
Devil Wears Prada. This is how I envision your life, Janine.
Yeah,
Devil Wears
exactly.
Prada. When she walks in, the director, just whatever.
Remember that
his
guy would
job,
say, "Here,
and he
here's a size
opens
8."
the closet, and there's all these great things. Of course, that's what I picture you have there. So we're highly mistaken. Is
Wow,
what I'm
well,
hearing.
that's a beautiful vision, honey, but that's not what's going on.
That's a bummer. That's what we have here. We have people.
We
you
have
know,
that.
Kurt, our board op, he's always coming in and trying to outfit us with all kinds of cool stuff. So that's what we've got.
Yeah,
So.
it's
Lots of stylists everywhere.
Okay, so like, was it kind of hard? Look, you're a single mom, like you said. Was it a little tough? I mean, you're over at CNN, and a lot of times when stuff ends, you have to sort of get out there and get a job, and that's tough. And then you ended up over at E. And then when this all happened with Joan, I know people were shuffling around. You had to reinvent yourself again. It's really tough, isn't it, out there? People think this kind of life is so easy, and it's not.
I don't say it's easy. Where did they come from? It's not easy. There's nothing easy about it.
I know.
I think
Go ahead.
it's tough. Television is very tough, and it's not like it used to be. And I liked stability. I like security. I like being at a place. I was at CNN for 15 years, and I thought I was going to have a pretty good run at E until, Joan left, and then it's just been a little bit more up in the air. But yeah, it's difficult. It's difficult to try to find and maintain positions in this industry. It's very tough. And
yeah, I was back
about
east.
I don't know that I reinvented, but I sort of, added a little side dish. I started a blog shortly after.
tell everybody the
Joan
name of the
passed
blog.
away, and I
It's a
had
great blog.
time off. Oh, thanks. It's fun. It's called "I Guess We're Through" because split happens. And
Why
I
is
started
it called
with
that? Yeah.
Divorce.
I started that with a girlfriend of mine.
Oh.
Her name is Raquel Dalton, and she runs a blog called "I Guess I Do," and it's about weddings. And she started another one called "I Guess I'm Due," and that's
For
about
babies.
babies.
Yeah.
And
I love
I'm
it.
heading up "I Guess We're Through" because this
I
is
love
something I
it.
could speak
Because
about.
that's the final cycle.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
Trevor's
well,
you're
no.
divorced as well.
I'm
But
divorced.
You are on such great terms with your ex-husband.
my
though. I've never
ex-husband
seen
and I
anything
are
like it.
best friends.
They're like best friends. They'll come over the house. He's sitting there watching a game.
It's a little
like,
weird, though.
I think
I
it's
don't feel like I'm
fantastic.
ever going to move on. Like, please get
know,
out
not
of my
really.
house for 10 minutes so I
No,
can move on.
That's the way to do it. It's a great
Yeah,
thing.
well,
for
with the
kids.
kids until they go to college. That's,
But like, what would happen if you brought a date home?
well, I wouldn't bring a date home.
Yeah.
They could take me out. How about that?
Right.
I don't
Now,
think he'd even
Janine-
care.
Well, what if a date was picking you up and
Well,
your ex-husband
I don't
was
know.
there?
I'd probably have to meet him the first couple of times.
Okay.
I'll cross that bridge when I get there, Nicole. So Janine's dating a great guy. He's darling. Tell us about your wonderful guy in your life. I love.
I
he's a
am
famous-
dating a great guy.
And wasn't that unexpected? Because he's an old family friend. That's always got to be a little.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know
friend
that.
Of her
Yeah,
dad.
yeah.
friend of your
It's very
dad's.
unexpected.
Yeah.
Wow.
And he is absolutely fabulous. My kids adore him, and he loves them to pieces. And it's just because you will know, Linda, it's a package deal. You don't
Yeah.
just
Gotta like my
find
kid.
somebody. You've got these other two in tow.
Yeah.
So he's fantastic, and
He's so handsome. I love the picture we're showing. I don't think you can see it, but you guys are so cute together. You have done a lot with him. Well, let's say his name. Why don't we say who he is? And he's well known.
Steve Tyrell.
Yeah, we're talking about this poor
Steve
guy.
Tyrell. He's a Grammy-winning singer and
Yeah.
producer, and he is just fabulous. He's put out 10 Standards albums, and his latest album is celebrating the new American songbook, and it's songs from Carole King and Burt Bacharach and
I love those.
Lieber and Stoller and Neil Sedaka. It's fun. It's a lot of fun, and he is as busy as can be. So some of the pictures that you have over there.
Let's show the one with you.
One
and,
is of us at
yeah.
Buckingham Palace.
Let's show
Yeah.
that one.
Okay,
Let's show
what
that
was
one now
that
first.
like? First of all,
You're
could you
laughing
imagine?
hysterically. I want to know what the joke was.
Well, you know what? A lot of times you can be.
first,
Go ahead.
he was invited by the prince to come and sing at the Prince's Trust Foundation.
Okay, wait, just
So,
stop. No, you have to stop. What kind of call comes in? Like, do his people call Steve's people and say, "Hello, the prince
You
really
have
would
it,
like you
Kurt?
to
You
come
have
and,
it?
and perform"? I mean, how does that even happen?
It was an email, and he sent it to me, and I thought, you have got to be kidding.
Oh, it's a joke,
And it was
right?
very funny because, his name is Steve Tyrell. So the whole time he goes, you know what? I know he's expecting Steven Tyler. And when I get there, he's going to be so upset that I don't have all of Aerosmith with me. This has got to be a mistake. I kept saying, it's not a mistake. I'm sure it's you. So, and it was. And we just had an absolute blast. But when you get there, there's a cocktail hour on the balcony, and it's the balcony where everybody waves.
Oh, you're kidding.
You know, when they,
no, like when you have a baby and
For
stuff.
hundreds
yeah,
of
we're on the
years, they've
balcony.
been
So-
standing there waving. That's crazy. What exciting.
It was
Wow.
insane. So he comes out, and the reason we're laughing is because Steve introduced me, and he said, "Oh, this is my girlfriend, Janine Sherrill. She produces Joan Rivers' show, The Fashion Police." And he looks at
Who,
me.
the prince? The
and
prince?
says, Joan Rivers.
Joan Rivers.
Why, she's so naughty.
Naughty. I love
Don't
that.
you love the way
lost
they
it. You know, we
talk?
were
Yes.
so tense
Love
and
it.
so stressed meeting him.
Yeah.
And
broke
it
the
just
ice.
broke the ice completely.
See, Joan did that
And,
for you guys. See,
Oh, that's true.
Joan did. She was there with you in spirit, probably. You know?
Exactly.
So what did
Exactly.
he
And
do?
well,
He
this
sang
time
like
she
for
was
the whole.
alive. I mean, this was last summer.
This was okay. I'm sorry, I didn't realize that.
Yes,
I didn't
and
either.
so
Don't feel bad.
you know, he kept going on, and he said, "Oh, I imagine you've got your work cut out for you." And I said, "Oh, you understand?" And he said, you know, he just couldn't stop talking about how much he loved her. She was at his wedding when he married Camilla.
Oh, really?
And they
Wait,
went on
she
trips
was at-
together. They would
Oh.
paint together, and
Wait. Who went on trips together? Joan and the prince?
Joan with the prince and
Wow.
Camilla. Yes,
She
Oh,
was
Lord.
amazing.
Wow.
I know.
Talk about like that 6 degrees of separation thing. Who would have known, right? That she
Right.
was hanging out with them.
She
and
was very
Steve ended up-
fancy. She was very
Yeah.
fancy.
You know, she was.
I loved her.
Oh
I
my
love that about
gosh.
her. Even her apartment in New York was beautiful. I could move right in.
Did
I
you?
loved
Oh,
it.
I was
It's
so
like a palace
fancy. I wouldn't know
itself.
what
Did you
to
go
do
there,
in
Janine? Did you ever see it? You probably went to
I
her
never
house in
saw
LA.
it inside.
Okay.
No, I haven't been inside. No.
I mean, I just saw
But-
the pictures from the documentary.
Yeah,
actually.
me too.
I love that style. It's so ornate, but done well.
It really-
Not gaudy ornate. You know, nice
I wouldn't
ornate.
know what to do. I wouldn't even know. I
Very
wouldn't even
glamorous.
Very
glamorous.
glam. Even her clothes, those big fur lined things. I love that look.
So what kind
I
of
know. And yeah.
what kind of clothing did she like? Because you guys obviously handpicked certain people that you talked about on the show that she wanted to talk about on the show. What did she like and what did she not like? And who did she not like? I'd love to know that.
You know what? She liked people who were classic
Yeah.
stars. I mean, just who really brought it to the red carpet. And, you know, you would see somebody come up like Sharon Stone, just looking flawless. And she would go, "That is a
That's
movie
a star."
star."
Yeah,
Right.
she
You
liked
know,
the
and
glamour movie star
That's what she just
traditional.
loved.
Yeah, and I do
Yeah.
too. Actually,
Did she ever tell you anything really saucy, like really amazing that you were like, oh, wow, I had no idea?
She probably had a million stories behind the scenes.
Oh, she had a zillion stories.
Show that one of we're telling Kurt which picture to put up. Like one of you with Joan is so cute. We're looking. Sorry, Janine. I'm just trying to.
Which one are you showing?
Are you showing? Is that with? Yeah, we're showing you with Joan, and you guys are hugging. I think you're sitting down somewhere. I don't know where you are, but it's so cute.
Oh,
You
you
guys-
know where we are? Is it pink?
Uh,
We are in Dita Von Teese's kitchen.
Oh,
wow.
That's
Fun.
an
Yes,
adorable,
we went to her house.
adorable
We would
picture.
do closet raids where John
that one,
would
yeah.
show up at a celebrity's house and go into their closet and go through things and you know, look at some of their more iconic signature items that they had in there, and we would just have a blast with them. So for this particular shoot, we went to Dita Von Teese's house, and she's, you know, a stripper.
yeah.
She's
She's
like
like,
very fancy.
burlesque,
I guess
you
she
know,
has a
very
cool-
sexy,
Yeah.
very 1950s, and her entire house is decorated that way. It was really fascinating to see everything that she had, and everything was so pink, pink, pink. But Dita makes a really killer chicken pot pie.
what? That's crazy.
So we went over there,
That'd be
and she
great.
made us chicken pot pies, and we drank champagne. And she took Joan for a ride in her convertible,
What a fun
and
girl.
it was fun. I mean, Joan was just game for anything. You
Yeah,
know,
she had a
and
young
we had so
heart.
many fun guests on the show. We had Ryan Lochte came on one time, the Olympic swimmer.
Wow.
And,
I watched it
we
all the time.
came up-
I did.
Oh,
I was always on.
God,
I
it
think
was
people still
crazy.
do, right? You can still see it. I mean, her shows
yeah.
are still on.
Yeah, it's-
I mean, you know, online. I mean, you can look her up. I just loved what she did.
I love her
When-
talk show that she had in the 80s. Do you remember that? She was like
Yeah,
a late night
I
Daytime.
do.
No, it was a
Oh, the
nighttime
Fox
show.
one, didn't she?
The one
I
that
really liked
Johnny
that
Carson wouldn't talk to her after that.
Right,
Right.
he wouldn't talk to her. And did she go on before or after Arsenio? I don't remember that. Remember, like
I don't remember.
I don't remember.
Well, Janine, you have quite the whirlwind life. You're traveling a lot with your boyfriend. I see you on Facebook. I'm like jealous. What the hell? How'd she? Here she is in London. There she goes. She's in New York, and then she
You know what? I have no complaints right now.
So exciting.
Life is very good. It's 2 great kids. I have a wonderful boyfriend, great family of friends, and very, very fortunate right
Yeah,
now. So,
good job and everything.
Yeah.
That's good. You deserve it, kid. You
Well,
deserve
I
it.
know
Well,
Fashion
thanks.
Police is back on again. When? When does it come back?
It's on now, isn't it?
No, because I think they're on a break, right,
Oh.
Janine?
yeah, we're taking a little break.
Okay.
We're coming back for the American Music Awards, and those are in November, and our
Coming
show
up.
will air the Monday after that. Let me see. I'm pulling up my calendar. I think it's November 23rd or whatever that closest Monday is.
And
Okay.
those shows have to happen even faster than the regular shows, right? Because they're like literally the next morning you're taping.
Oh my gosh,
Right.
it's crazy.
Okay,
Quick
how
turnaround.
fun are
It's
those
really
to go
crazy,
to?
yeah.
I don't know what's more fun, the red carpet or behind the scenes when you go talk to everybody, right? We've all done
We've all
those.
done it.
Oh
and-
my gosh. And the music ones are the best, I think, because they're insane.
But when you're working it, you're working it. So you remember
Oh,
those days. I mean,
absolutely.
you're frazzled. You got to get it done and get it turned around. So it's not like you're hanging out having a rip-roaring time. I mean, it's work.
I have to say,
No, it's
though,
a lot of work. It was
Yeah.
always so stressful. Didn't you guys think?
I
Like
loved
when
it.
you're covering the red carpet and it's fast, at the end of
very
the Oscars
fast.
when everybody's coming down the red carpet and, you're talking and they're telling you, wrap it up with Meryl Streep because Oprah's right behind her. Okay.
And you don't want to be rude and
Meryl,
say,
good luck to
someone
you.
bigger showing
Hello,
up. You got to move on down.
yeah, it's like, move on.
you don't want to be rude.
But that does happen, and you could see, if I don't hurry up, they're going to pass me by.
Yeah,
So you're like,
and
all right, thank you
it's
very much. You look
pressure.
terrific. I
Right.
love your dress. Goodbye.
Right.
So it's like,
to make sure you've got your good questions lined up so you're not asking the same thing everybody else is
But I
asking.
have to
mean,
say,
it's
I,
work.
I think, I don't know, Janine, and you covered it. I think Arrival was the most fun to me. Like, After Party was fun.
and the most
but I
chaotic.
I
though.
like
Oh.
the Arrival because that's when you first see what they're wearing and you're up close. I
Mm-hmm.
still remember, I have a moment. I remember Nicole Kidman, when she was married to Tom Cruise, arrived at the Academy Awards in a Dior dress that was yellowy
the greenish-
green, and
I
she had
remember
mink
that.
around it. And I'm standing there talking to her, going, "I've never seen a more beautiful ensemble. Even her skin, and then you feel like crap because you
Her
look at yourself.
skin
It's
looked-
like this girl was beautiful.
Her skin looked radiant. I
Yeah.
remember
Do you remember that dress?
I
I
absolutely
still remember
do.
that.
I was not there for that, but I remember looking at it thinking, she just looks amazing. But I
To
have
see it
to
in
say-
person was sometimes different. You probably get that, Janine. Where you see it in person and you're just like gaga over it, and then when it shows up, it's like you don't
Sure.
it loses something. But anyway.
I have
Yeah,
to-
it always looks a little bit different.
I have to say a couple things. When you're doing the red carpet, it always helps having that CNN mic flag. It's like, hey, CNN, and then
Oh,
they'll
yeah,
always
people
come
came,
over.
yeah.
If you have some little station that nobody's heard of, it's like they just walk right by. But between that and, I mean, look at
and
when
Fashion Police too. They love
Fashion Police. Oh my! Well, they can't get past anybody at Fashion Police. That's like a big no-no, right? You're like screwed if you walk past that.
Yeah.
I mean, forget about.
It's Fashion Police along with Entertainment Tonight and Access Hollywood, right? Those are the big
Well,
ones.
I'm going to see because we may be going to those awards. So let's see. That'll
Maybe
be
we'll see
so much
Janine
fun.
there. We'll pull her over and she can analyze. Well, you'll be working, but maybe.
Ooh.
That'll be so fun. All right. So do you want to stay on a little bit and talk with us with Nicole, or do you have any time, Janine?
Sure, yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
It's like old home week. We
Yeah,
don't
it's
want to
like
hang
home
up.
week, and we're kind of
I
hanging
know, I
out.
love it.
But it's a little bit about reinvention, what it's like to work one place, be a single mom, not be a mom, and just sort of pick up where you're losing your work. I mean, I was going to say, when I was back east just a couple weeks ago, my relatives were saying, "Oh my God, it must be so much fun, like to do what you do." And I said, "Absolutely, always." And my cousin was a nurse. But when you're a nurse, you've got steady employment, as you know. Nicole, you were an attorney. You were a corporate attorney.
I was
And
for 5 years.
pretty much have steady work. And then when you're in the entertainment biz, regardless of what you do, right, it's tough because you're always sort of hustling from job to job. Or somebody's hustling for
it's
you.
essentially a freelance lifestyle. I was working for a couple of really big law firms, and I had the steady job, the steady paycheck. I had the benefits and the 401k and all that stuff. And so now I
remember
don't have any of that.
when your family was saying to me, she's leaving being an attorney. And I'm like, to come down here and go to film school. And they were like, can you believe it? I said, good for her. That is so great, because I'm a big believer in doing what you're passionate about.
They never really got their heads around it, I think, still to this day.
Oh, see, I did, right. Just so you know, I was in your corner the whole
Okay.
time. I'm like, let her do what she's got to do. Why should she be unhappy being an attorney? By the way, everybody I know who's an attorney, so many of them just left and did something else.
There's a lot of us out there in the film industry as well, a lot of former attorneys. But I still practice part-time. I still do production legal for movies and stuff like that. So
It's good to have you in the court because you're
Yeah.
free.
right.
I don't know if they pay you for your legal advice.
But that must have been really hard, right? To just say, I'm going to leave being a corporate attorney. I mean,
It wasn't hard at the time.
well, you must have hated it then.
Yeah, it wasn't hard at all to leave. What was hard was sticking with the decision to leave. So like I left, took a little bit of time off, and then I went to film school, which I loved for 2 years straight. I was making movies 24/7. Loved that. And then it was after that, then I had to go out and actually like make a living.
Do they help you when you go to these schools?
No.
They don't even have like
No.
a place to take you, to send you off to be an intern?
No, I remember trying to look for an internship between my first and second years and going to the dean's office and asking them their advice. And they're like, "Well, find a company you like and get in touch with them." It's basically just like you're on your own.
Yeah.
It's a little weird. They should have an internship program, right?
Yeah, I mean, they
Something.
may now. I mean, it was a great school. I went to AFI and I loved it. It was an amazing 2 years. But after film school was over, then you're kind of really starting over. And I was in my mid-30s at that point. And it's so, yeah.
That's got to be weird. Like,
It's
you know,
scary.
you got people there who are probably 18 or 19. You're thinking,
No, it's a master's program, so they were all mid-20s. But I was definitely
But
the
still.
one of the oldest students. Yeah, luckily I'm young at heart, and
I so don't
I
think it
keep up with the
matters.
pop culture, so that's super important. But
Kardashians.
that's right.
Yeah.
Really, just
That's
watch
right.
the Kardashians. You
I'm a
find out
total
everything
gossip
you need
whore.
to
I
know,
mean,
right?
yeah.
Janine,
Celebrity
is that your
gossip.
secret? Do you watch reality TV? Do you ever watch?
I really don't.
Oh, so you're a good one. You're smart.
How could you not? If you
It's
can't,
not my thing,
Okay.
I have to say.
I don't either at all.
I'm obsessed with it. I will
I am
admit
too.
it.
I have
It's
a
my
very
secret
strange
passion.
addiction.
'Cause
Yeah.
sometimes I work at night and I just like watching mindless stuff.
Okay, but those people scare me. Honestly, those Bravo people, these like housewives of whatever, are so frightening. I don't know how you
Yeah,
can have
no, I don't
friends
watch
like that. They
those.
throw things at each other and they're stabbing each other in the back. Now, I like the Kardashians though, because they're so insane.
See, now
and
to
I
me,
just-
that's
yeah.
insane.
yeah, well,
that comment.
No question about it. Oh my gosh! But I just think I put them on because they're on E, and I actually like watching.
Well,
E.
I mean, you know, when,
Yeah.
when they have like 56 million followers on Twitter, one of them, and then the rest, all of them do equally. That's a lot, and you wonder how they did it without doing really anything except
yeah,
looking
and we're
good.
still trying to get a couple of followers. We have like 3.
We have like
on
four.
one of our-
We have 4 now.
I'll follow you guys.
no, not on our private one, but like on one we're
Our
trying to
Facebook
build.
has 4.
No, but because we haven't put it out there. Okay, it's so pathetic.
We keep
have to-
changing the name of the show so no one can find us.
We've had to change the name of the show so many times now that we've sort of settled on it.
Janine's like laughing at us. I mean,
Now
we're
that we've
so
settled,
disorganized.
I-
We changed the name. We don't, you know, we're wondering why we only have 4 followers because no one can
That's
find
why
us.
I like
because
the name
nobody can
change.
follow us.
You like we like it too. What's up with Kobylt
Yes.
and Hayes?
I love
Yes,
it.
what's
It's
up?
actually
I like
very
that.
cool.
I
It's
liked
a
what you
little
did a couple weeks
classier.
ago though with the "What's Up, bitches."
Yeah, what's up, bitches?
Yeah,
and we'll,
that was
you know,
good.
we like that at the end. We're gonna do a montage of all you guys
Oh, yeah.
saying that.
Oh yeah! Don't forget, Janine.
We'll have to
Before
do
you
that at
hang
the
up,
end.
you have to do a "What's up" or however you want to do it. But and you too, everybody. So anyway, okay. So you left being an attorney. Your parents are pissed off.
Yeah.
Or your dad.
My dad
rather,
was,
and
yeah.
your stepmom were.
Why?
well,
Because they paid for law school.
They paid for law
Yeah.
school. They did not pay for film school. Though.
Well, I remember
Yeah.
that too. I remember all this. I heard all the
Really?
backstory. Just so you know, I got it all. It's like, can you,
You
believe
probably
it?
know more than I do.
I did, but I was
Yeah.
totally supportive because I really believe that you have to go through that transition.
Well, I'll never forget the phone call I made to my dad saying I'm going to quit my job and be a filmmaker, and he was like, "What? What do you mean by that?" And like,
Well,
what does
let me
that even mean?
stop
Yeah.
you again.
Yeah.
Gee, surprise. We really should have kept it called "Shut Up" because let's face it, for me. But let me just say, your dad is a very, very, very well-known and accomplished around the world veterinarian.
Yeah.
Dr.
Yeah.
Steve Ettinger.
He's done very, very well.
Extremely well. I mean, he's written the Bible of veterinary medicine. So that's another thing. He's a very, if you will, traditional guy. And, just hearing that you're leaving your law firm was, I think, shocking,
I get it. It was super scary for him to hear that and not have any idea what that even means. Well, what does it mean to be a filmmaker? What is that job?
Right.
And
And you said, I don't know.
I don't really know, but I'm going to find out. And it's what I want to do. And
It's your life.
Yeah.
You have that right. You can, I think people realize there might be someone listening right now who doesn't like their job. Well, just make a change. Like, just do something. Like, we're lucky. We're kind of in the same world. communication and.
Well, I
Janine,
always,
too.
You've done some reinvention. Both of you have. in
I
your
have.
lives,
I
yeah.
can't stop reinventing myself. I actually am addicted to it. Like every year, I'm like, what can I
Something
do different?
different,
I need
yeah.
something new. I'm a Gemini. I go nuts.
Oh, me
I
too.
just really believe you need to do what you enjoy doing. I don't know why anyone would want to make a lot of money, but that's just me, doing something they're not crazy about. I'd rather make a little, live somewhere simpler, and just go to work every day
that's
and
easy
enjoy
for you
myself.
to say. You have a husband who's very successful. There's women that don't have
But it
the
was
funds.
not always
Well,
that way. And I
yeah.
worked 3 jobs and he would work 2.
Yeah.
And I couldn't have been happier. And we had this dumpy, ugly little apartment. And
We already knew he slept on the couch of someone's office. Remember?
He did.
Before you got.
he actually did. And we were pretty broke. But, we were just doing what we enjoyed and the rest comes.
Yeah.
That's
well,
a
let me
good
just
point.
say, I mean, even when I was practicing law, my hobby, my social hobby when I was not working was, being in writing groups and writing screenplays and taking film production classes. But it's even then, for a long time, it still didn't occur to me that I could do that as a career. First of all, I wasn't living in Los Angeles, so that's the difference. I was
That's tough.
first I was in Washington D.C. and then San Francisco, and so there's no real careers there for film per se. So for me, it was just sort of a hobby, and then once I kind of figured out that I could make a career out of it, it was sort of a no-brainer.
Why did you decide to do that as opposed to, let's say, documentary filmmaking? Because you could have stayed where you were to do that in D.C. or even San Francisco.
I never had any interest in. I like watching documentaries, but I never had any interest in making documentaries. My interest was always telling stories and
The entertainment
narrative.
side.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what do? Do you take scripts in? And then we were actually talking about this, about development. Linda has an interest in development. What do? You take in a script and then you go or do you write them yourself?
Well, I'm not really a writer. I'm actually more of a line producer type person,
I see.
production manager. So I usually once
Figure
the
out
script
where
is
the
done,
shoot is, where all the details.
I'm kind of like in charge of the budget and hiring the crew and kind of putting it all together and like the physical production part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a lot of work. There are a lot of work.
So what have you been working on? You did 2 films this summer.
I produced 2 films this summer. Both are in post-production right now. One of them is called Underwater Upside Down. Really fun dramedy that I did. And then before that,
Wait,
did...
what's that about?
Oh,
It's
well,
an odd title. Like what's
Underwater
going on?
Upside
What's the whole
Down.
thing underwater?
No, the title actually doesn't really have that much to do with the film itself, or maybe it does on a more mystical kind of level. But basically, it's about the 2 brothers who grew up without parents. Essentially, one brother raised the other, and they're at kind of a crossroads and have to figure out what they're doing with their life. And then this mysterious woman comes in. She kind of appears from out of the ocean. You wonder if she's a mermaid, but she's not really a mermaid. And she sort of enters their life and changes their life, helps them figure out their lives.
Was
So
she
it's
like an angel or something? Was she a real person? Or is she like figment of their imagination
well,
or
it's
something?
we don't know.
We can't give
Yeah,
away that part.
I can't
Did I
tell
like
you
totally
that.
screw up the story?
No, I
It's like-
can't tell you that. But
Spoiler
it's,
alert.
It's got a really nice magical realism. Kind
Yeah,
of
that
theme
sounds
going,
really
going on.
precious.
And I saw a cut of it the other day with some folks, and it's really really good.
Are
and
there
the story
famous?
is great.
Do we know anybody in it?
There are people, some really wonderful actors, but I wouldn't say
Not well known
I don't have
yet.
any A-list stars in there.
That's okay.
So
Some,
yeah.
Don't you find
but-
it really difficult to even get something made? Because I
I
know
was
people,
thinking that.
whether
Yeah.
they are actors, producers, writers, directors, anything, so many times something's going to get made, people are in, and then it just doesn't happen. I was just talking to a friend of mine today, and he's a director, and he was expecting some particular job, and it just completely fell
Well,
through.
there's this sort of conundrum in the film industry about making films is you can't get a film financed unless you have A-list talent, and you can't get A-list talent unless you have a financial commitment. So there's that weird.
Yeah.
So anytime you get a movie made is a miracle, and I used to say that on set this summer on one of the films I did. It was like every single day that we're shooting is a miracle because there are so many obstacles. It's like pushing a boulder uphill every single day.
But don't you think now content is needed? I mean, you've got Amazon and Netflix.
Yep.
They're all producing
Yeah,
things
does that
now.
make it
Does that
easier?
open the door now for more
Well,
opportunity?
it does. Yeah. I did a show a couple of years ago for Hulu called East Los High, which has done really, really well. And it's, it's just on Hulu. It's not on television. But
What's
it's
it
done
called
very
again?
well.
East-
East Los High.
Oh, I like that.
It's about teenagers in East Los Angeles. It's a really fun.
Yeah.
How many
soapy
episodes
kind of
did
thing.
you do?
26 episodes.
Oh,
Yeah.
So we can just look that up on Hulu.
You find it on Hulu. There's 4. Well, I did the first season. But there's 4 seasons, I think, three or four seasons.
Do you have like a whole crew with you, like like a wardrobe person?
Oh,
or you
yeah.
just say to these people, just come to work, come, how you would. I'm just curious. If
It's
you have such
crew
a
of
low
about,
budget.
No, it's a crew of about 50 people, 40 to 50 people. Yeah, you have a wardrobe department, and you have a makeup and hair, and everything a normal studio film would have. It's just that you're paying them less.
And what about now? You just have a new one that's
I
been
actually-
released, or what is it?
Well, that's one of the ones I did this summer, and then I did
Okay.
another one this summer called Golden Vanity, which is also in post production. That's it's a one woman show, so it's a kind of it's a take on the like Judy Garland tapes. You guys remember she did those tapes when she was like later in life. She made these recordings on tape about her life, and
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's actually really interesting. You can find them if you Google it, like
So
on YouTube or whatever.
This movie's about her or somebody? else?
No, it's not about her, but it's about somebody that's sort of like her, and it takes place in that same time period. So it was a really, really interesting film. There's only one actor, and it's basically
very theatrical,
Yeah,
really.
yeah. We shot it sort of Birdman style. So even though we shot it over a period of time, it looks like it's all one long take. So that was a really fun, interesting film. I'm looking forward to
You
seeing
have to have a
that.
lot
And
of
then-
patience in film. It's just a long process to get it made and then to shoot. It's a long
Yeah.
process.
Yeah.
Even for the actors on set.
It
It's
is.
just
I mean,
very,
it's sort of
you have
like
to be patient.
I've had visitors who aren't in the industry come to my film sets, and it's like watching paint
It's like,
dry,
how many
you know?
takes do I have to do this?
Yeah, it's
I
like the
would
same
not
thing
make a
over
good
and over
actor.
again.
I would be
Okay.
like, next, let's get on with it.
You for sure.
I couldn't handle it.
But your kids.
My
I mean, her
son.
son was just in Once Upon
A
a
Time.
Time this week. In fact, well, we were so excited.
Did you
He
go to
was great.
set?
I
with
did.
it?
I was in Vancouver with him for 5 days
Mm-hmm.
for a 2-minute scene. That's what I mean.
Oh, it was terrific,
I
though.
was like, what the heck? This is 2 minutes long after 5 days?
Yeah.
But it was great. It turned out to be really cute. And, I'm proud of him. It's a very grueling business. It's hard to make it. And
So when you go out and you get funding, what do? Do you go to people you know? Do you go to financial institutions? How does that work?
Oh, funding can happen all sorts of
Yeah,
different
privately
ways.
and-
Sometimes it's private funders. Sometimes, like I've worked with Fox Digital on a few different projects, and so they get the funding, and then they come to me or come to whoever the producer is, to put it together. But then other times, like both of the ones I did this summer were privately funded. So. You have to just kind of constantly be meeting people and talking to people, and
working the deal.
And you did a film
fast-paced.
that took you to Thailand.
I did about 2 years ago. I went to Thailand to shoot a horror film called Pernicious, which is, I think it's out now on iTunes.
Pernicious.
Very
Or
scary.
maybe
I
Netflix.
watched this clip.
You can find the trailer on.
Oh, we have a little
on
mini
YouTube.
clip. Can we like?
Oh, okay.
really
show-
scary.
Okay, cool.
Can we talk over it? Love the music right there.
It was beautiful.
Isn't
going
Thailand
there. Oh, it was
gorgeous?
so fun.
So, this is Thailand. It looks amazing. This is going to be an unforgettable experience.
That bass. That's always the scary part.
Guys, look at this.
It's a golden statue.
So, girls, what's the plan for tonight, huh?
We'll dance, we'll drink, make bad decisions.
Ooh, God, look at them. They're so creepy. They won't stop staring at us.
You gonna let me buy you a drink?
Doesn't look scary to me. It looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah,
man.
just wait.
I want to go.
Wait, this is where it turns bad.
Stay away from me.
No, I can't watch.
From me with that.
Okay, that's done. I'm like over it. Like I don't want to. No. Seriously, Kurt, go off it. I can't deal with that.
This is how I watch a scary
cannot deal
movie.
with that stuff.
Do you watch it like this?
God,
For
who
some
makes
reason,
something
it-
like
the
that?
horror-
The horror film fans love it. It's,
Yeah.
Look at our
it's
producer
really-
over there, Misty. She's look at her face.
So there's a scene in there that's maybe it's like 10 minutes long. That's kind of a lot of this creepy, horrible, bloody torture.
Okay, I could never do that. I would
know.
have every nightmare going. Oh my god!
But the rest of the film is actually a really really good story. It's really beautiful
It is.
locations, and I mean, listen, I'm not really a horror fan person, but the opportunity to go to Thailand and work with this crew was amazing.
There's a
Absolutely.
big genre
And
for horror. A lot
Oh,
of
Yeah,
major
well, the
success with horror
director,
films.
the director was 21 years old. He's
did a good
like
job.
an up and coming. He's like a big deal.
What
in
is
the
his
horror
name?
community.
What
His
is
name is James Colin Bresic.
I'd like
James
to get
Colin
him on
Bresic.
because I've read about him.
Yeah, he's really talented. He's worked a lot. I mean, when Well, we shot this 2 years ago. He was 21 years old.
Wow.
This was his 8th feature film.
That's incredible that he's that young.
Where did he go to school? Because
I don't
you're
know.
telling me his 8th feature film. Maybe he was producing.
I want to
I
get
don't
inside the
know.
head of a
His-
director
yeah.
for a horror film.
You know what? A friend of mine.
We want him on the show because I'm interested in that.
You know what? I have to get my
You're
friend's
off?
son on. He's in high school, and he just, I think, started up the Laguna Beach Film Festival or something.
Oh, wow.
He's really bright. So a lot of these people start doing. In fact, I've got to call her. But her husband is in the film business too, so up here. But a lot of these people start so early, and they just start. It's in their head, and they just start doing that.
Yeah,
Wow.
you get hooked to it. And-
Yeah.
and there's definitely a way
Yeah.
of thinking with that horror. I mean, it's,
Absolutely, and he's really talented, and we
Yeah.
had a really good team. But it was such a different experience shooting in Thailand because they just have different rules over
Yeah.
there. Meaning, mostly like they don't really have rules.
That's
there,
kinda nice.
So what does that mean?
great.
No unions telling you
no
break,
unions.
do this.
No.
You just do it.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
none of that. So, and we had a child. This child. I don't know if you saw the
No, we
child.
didn't
in
see the child
There's a
in it.
child, and she was painted all gold. If you watch
Was
the
that
rest
the
of the clip, you'd see.
statue?
Yeah, the statue is
As a person.
Oh,
as a
so you had to
person.
make it real, come alive. So you
yeah,
used a child.
So, yeah.
Okay.
So we used a real child.
So
but
you
there
don't
was
have as
no-
many rules.
No
'cause
child labor.
I know
laws.
from that world, there's tons of rules. The kid has to break, get him off set.
That's
I mean,
right.
it's crazy.
Studio teacher
Yeah.
and all that stuff. Now this kid.
I'm like,
works
why does he need a studio
all day
teacher? He was
long.
in school all day. Now we're
Yeah.
back on the set. I'm like,
So
rules.
What?
Well, and we had. Let me just tell you one other story from that. We had the main house in the film that you saw was on stilts, as all houses in Thailand are, and we didn't know why until the monsoon came and the house got flooded. Well, in America, you immediately file an insurance claim and you stop shooting, right?
Right.
Not in Thailand. In Thailand, they just built scaffolding and we all
Worked around it.
We did. We walked.
Okay, but that's the
yeah.
way to just get through it, right? Instead-
Absolutely,
I love that.
That's the way to go. But
Sounds
you
like
could
they're
never get
efficient there.
Oh, absolutely, we had amazing crews. I mean, they were just, and the crews they all spoke Thai. None of them spoke English, so we had a translator first of all. But the other thing is that they all would wear a T-shirt saying which department they were in.
Oh, that's nice.
Which was awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was an amazing.
we have
experience.
like 1 minute left. What's your
Okay.
next project? I want to know. And you must be real happy that you made that decision to reinvent yourself and
I am.
get out of being a lawyer.
Well, I've
and-
got a music video I'm shooting tomorrow, which I can tell you about another time.
Oh, you
and
can't,
then,
like, give us
I
even
know.
a
I'm
hint.
sorry.
No,
I
we don't
can't.
want her to lose her
I asked
job.
the label. They said
Yeah.
I couldn't talk about it. But
Big, I'll just say it's a big deal.
But next month I have a web series coming up which is going to be great for Maker Studios, and that's
Ooh.
called Party Girl, and that's going to be.
I
a
like
lot
the
fun
name
to
of that.
shoot.
Are you still shooting?
right up
that?
my alley.
We haven't shot it yet. We
Good,
haven't
because
shot it
I'm
yet.
asking
So
you.
you
Because
gotta-
where's my part in it?
Well, I'll
I'm like
do-
not kidding. Like I know you think I'm messing around, but you can't write me.
We're waiting
into
for the
some-
final scripts. I'll take a look, and
All right, you got to
I'll-
say that.
I'll hook you up.
You have
You
to say the
have
what.
to. I
Say
could
the
be
what's
like-
up, bitches. Before
That's
we
right. Oh
sign
yeah.
off.
What's up, bitches?
Or just what's up too.
And
What's
Janine, are you
up?
still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Say it for us. We got to get you on our
What's
intro.
up?
That's a good one. I need a what's up
Okay.
from you without
All right.
a bitches.
Yeah. Okay. What's up?
Bitches.
What's up?
You just
I
love,
love
the
the
bitches.
bitches.
Because we'll go there later. But anyway, this is such a fun show. Janine, thank you so much for being on.
Let's get together
We didn't
soon.
even get to like.
For having
You'll be on. You'll be a regular. We'll have you on.
Yeah, we didn't even
lot.
get to like some of the fall fashions for the you know
have
what's
so
going
much to
on
talk
and-
So
about.
much we didn't get to.
But maybe we'll come back when we have the award show starting. That'll be
Yeah.
really
Oh,
cool,
yeah.
Maybe
right?
you can come
Yeah.
in.
Yeah, and like
yeah, sounds fun.
bring some clothes for us or something, you know, right? Or we'll,
Yeah, some free- she doesn't get them.
yeah, I know.
but
I'm
you
just
know
messing
what?
Around, you know,
She
whatever.
she wears nice clothes.
Anyway, thanks everybody for being on. It's a really great
Thanks
edition
for
of What's
having
Up,
me.
and we'll be back next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.